Smart polar bear mother seeks help to save her cub, who is injured by barnacles and parasites. A story of survival, love, and a mother's unbreakable will. The birth of life in the frozen wilderness. The Arctic, a land of ice and endless white. A place where the sun disappears for months, and the cold is a ruthless predator. Yet even in this unforgiving world, life begins. On a frigid winter night, deep within a secluded snow cave, a mother polar bear, Aurora, gave birth to two cubs. They were small, blind, and fragile, but they carried the blood of a survivor. For months, Aurora nursed her young, keeping them warm against her thick fur, her heartbeat the only sound they knew. But in the Arctic, safety is an illusion. When spring arrived, Aurora emerged from her den, leading her cubs into the wild for the first time. She taught them to walk on the ice, to sniff out danger, to listen to the whispers of the wind. But food was scarce, and the world was filled with threats. Starving wolves, territorial male bears, and the worst enemy of all, the changing ice. As the days passed, one cub proved stronger, faster. The other, Nanook, was smaller, always trailing behind, but his mother loved him no less. She knew he would need her protection more than anything. The wounds of the wild one fateful evening, as Aurora led her cubs along a broken ice sheet, searching for seals, disaster struck. Nanook, curious and innocent, ventured too close to the freezing water. Suddenly, the ice cracked beneath him. He plunged into the sea, his tiny body disappearing into the abyss. Aurora roared in terror. Without hesitation, she dived in after him, her powerful limbs slicing through the ice-cold ocean. She reached her cub, grasping him in her jaws, pulling him back onto the ice. But something was wrong. Nanook was shaking, gasping for breath, his fur now covered in strange, sharp barnacles that clung to his skin like cruel invaders. His body, once pure white, was now infested with parasites, fleas, and microscopic creatures that burrowed into his flesh, feeding off his warmth. Aurora licked his fur, trying to clean him, but the wounds ran deep. Nanook was growing weaker, his bright eyes dimmed. A mother's instinct screamed in her heart. She needed to find help. But where in this frozen wasteland could a polar bear seek salvation? A desperate journey. Aurora had never trusted humans. She had seen what they could do. Loud machines, fire sticks that thundered in the distance. But she had also seen something else. Humans who tried to help, humans who saved lost cubs. She didn't know if they could be trusted, but she knew one thing. Nanook was dying, and she was willing to risk everything to save him. So she made a choice. With Nanook barely holding on, Aurora began her most dangerous journey, crossing miles of melting ice, braving storms, evading hungry predators, all for one impossible hope, to find those strange two-legged creatures who might have the power to heal her child. For days she walked, exhaustion clawing at her body. She refused to stop. She refused to fail. Then one evening she saw it, far on the horizon lights, a human settlement, but the humans were still too far away. So Aurora did something no wild bear had done before. She roared, not a roar of rage nor of dominance, but a call, deep, sorrowful, pleading, a mother's cry for help, and someone heard her. The race to save Nanook. A wildlife rescue team, stationed near the Arctic Research Facility, had never seen anything like it. A polar bear, one of the most feared and untouchable creatures in the wild, approaching them, not to attack, but to beg. And in her paws, her broken cub. Without hesitation, they sprang into action. Tranquilizer darts were prepared, not as weapons, but as tools to save. They carefully sedated Nanook, wrapped him in thick blankets, and carried him into their medical station. Aurora growled, pacing outside the facility, her massive paws leaving deep imprints in the snow. She didn't trust them, but she didn't leave. She waited. Hours turned into days. The veterinarians worked tirelessly, removing the barnacles embedded in Nanook's skin, treating the infections, bathing him to rid his fur of the relentless parasites. He was weak, but he fought, just like his mother had taught him. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the moment came. Nanook, now free of his parasites, stepped onto the snow once more. His legs trembled, but his spirit burned. Aurora watched, her eyes filled with something beyond instinct, something like hope. The rescue team knew what had to be done. Slowly, cautiously, they released Nanak back to his mother. And in that instant, as he nuzzled against her warm fur, the world felt whole again. Aurora, the smart polar bear who had risked everything, had won. She turned one last time to the humans, and then with Nanook by her side, she disappeared into the endless white, a legend that would be told for Ynir.